four, three, two, one. What's up, everybody? Wellness Week Live. How are you? This is DJ Anthony. Okay, so today, 7 things poor people do. And you might be wondering, what the hell does that have to do with being healthy and well? Well, money has a lot to do with being healthy or well. If you don't have your financial house in order, you're going to be stressed, you're going to get more sick, you're going to have more problems. So, yeah, it correlates with health and wellness. So, today, 7 things poor people do. Now, in full disclosure, I would say that. So I have 2 friends. Let's just start with that. One of them, okay, makes 50,000 a year. The other one makes 500,000 a year. Now, one of those friends is a millionaire. Take a guess who it is. No, it's not the person who makes 500,000 a year. Actually, crazy enough, it's the person who makes 50,000 a year. I know you're like, well, how's that going? How you doing? What are you talking about? I don't know that. Okay, well, it's kind of like I'm a car guy, and you could say, well, that car has 500 horsepower, and it should be faster than the car that has 400 horsepower, right? Wrong. It all depends. If the car that has 500 horsepower has to carry more weight and has a worse suspension and worse aerodynamics, the car that is less horsepower could be faster if it's lighter, better aerodynamics, better suspension, and oftentimes it is the case out there in the world. So this is that an analogy. Now, I grew up poor. I always like to say I grew up American poor, not Calcutta, India poor. I mean, I had a toilet, but I grew up. I mean, we were on public assistance in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and like for instance, I never had an air conditioner in my life when I was growing up, living at home. Sometimes I didn't have heat in my room. There were some nights I slept with the snowsuit on in New Jersey. Hello, America, yeah. So, but I had food, I had shelter. You know what I mean? Like, but if I wanted a new bicycle, no, my mommy, daddy, I think they bought me one bicycle once in my life. But if I wanted a newer one after a few years, I don't know, go get a job, bro. I mean, so we were, so anyways, I learned a lot. And watching my 2 friends, one makes 50,000, the other one makes 500,000, I also learned a lot. And with exception, of course, someone can become poor and they can't control that. Understood. But 99% of the time, if you're living in America, you're poor because of your choices. And again, I get it. People can lose everything with a deadly disease. They can get hit, in a bad car accident. And maybe they don't have enough insurance, or a tree can fall on you, and any one of these bad luck things can happen. But 99% of the time, 9 out of 10 times, if you're in America today, in modern times, and you're poor, most of that's a choice. And by the way, when I say poor and rich, I'm not talking about billionaires versus someone who has $0. I'm not even talking about millionaires versus people who have $0. I'm talking about people who do good for themselves. And now this one person who makes 50,000 a year happens to be a millionaire. And the other one who makes 500,000 a year is not a millionaire because he has really stupid friggin' spending habits. But this is what I'm getting at. So, I always say, if you can't manage $1, you can't manage $2. If you can't manage $2, guess what? You can't manage $3. And if you can't manage $4, you know where I'm going with this, right? If you can't manage $100, you can't manage $200. If you can't manage $1,000, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So if you can't manage if you can't manage $1, you can't manage $1 million. And that's why more often than not, people don't get to that. And this is the tale of 2 cities here, because I had these 2 friends, and I've over the years, I've noticed, I was like, I'm taking some notes, taking some lessons, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. Listen, I got a lot to learn, and I'm learning through these 2 friends. So why is that? Why is my one friend who has $500,000 a year coming in not a millionaire, but my friend who has the $50,000 a year coming in is a millionaire? And matter of fact, my friend who has the $500,000 coming in every year is broke, in debt. Debtors are hounding him. He's under a lot of stress. The one who's making $50,000 a year, no debt, no debtors hounding, He's all good. It's life's on easy street, baby. So how could that be? So here's what I've noticed about these two. I noticed that so my friend who has the 500,000 likes to vape. Now, nothing. I'm going to have a list. Okay, none of these items in and of themselves, by themselves, is making or breaking any of these two people. Okay, but together, all added up, yeah, they break you or they make you. Everything compounds. So it's not any one thing, but all of them compounded. So here's a list, and this is just what all I've noticed. Um, so yeah, the friend who makes 500,000 a year, he likes to smoke and vape, loves drinking alcohol. That's he's doing that on the weekly because that's cheap, that's easy. Always every has two cars every 3 years, every 4 years. Hey, got to get a new leased or financed car. Bad decision, leasing and financing. The rich guy does this. The quote unquote rich guy. The $500,000 a year guy does that. Vacations. Hey, the $500,000 a year guy, he's got to take at least 2 vacations. Come on, you got to every year at least 2 vacations. You see where it's going. What else? He has 4 kids. He loves fancy clothes. Loves them. Can't buy a regular pair of shoes that would last and be fine. Has to buy the most expensive pairs, multiple pairs of shoes, multiple pairs of sneakers, multiple pairs of boots, multiple. It's not just everything's multiple, and gotta rotate those every year or so. So okay. What else? Ton of subscription services. The $500,000 a year guy, subscription to this, subscription to that. This app costs this, that. Binge watching and this and that. And you got all the stuff. The Netflix, the Hulu, the Biba Dabba Do. A ton of subscription services. Okay, gambling apps. My man loves gambling. Got to gamble because it's legal now. Got to do that. That right there. Actually, I take that back. That if there's one thing. That could be one. That and alcohol in the vaping. But okay, eats out a lot to fancy schmancy places. All the time, not once in a blue moon. Every week. Hey, I'm out. Ding, bang, boom. You see where this is going? This guy's already losing it. Doesn't save money. Doesn't invest money for sure. Doesn't invest money. What else? The holidays. Got to go big, baby. Got to go big. Everyone's got to have. I can't buy someone $100 gift. My kids, they need at least. $300, $400, $500, $600, $2,000. Everyone got big gifts. It's Jesus' birthday. It's not theirs. But anyways, okay, yeah, big. That adds up. Okay, credit card debt, interest on it, racking it up. Dude's got multiple credit cards with 20-25% interest on it. Hello, that's mafia stuff. Okay, he's very impulsive too. Likes to just buy stuff on a whim, and never negotiates for anything. Price wise when he buys whatever. And then everything's on credit. Why do you think the credit cards want to give you points? You think they like you? They know you're going to fall. And then when you do, they're going to put their foot on your neck with 27% interest. That's if you owe $1,000, 27%, that's $270. So now you can see why my guy with the $500,000 a year salary spends more than $500,000 a year. And he's in debt. And he's in big trouble. And now, the person, my other friend making $50,000 a year, absolute antithesis. Saves, invests, lives below their means, has a pair of shoes and a pair of sneakers. That's it. Only, you got to clean them off. You get new ones when there's a hole in the bottom. Small holidays, everyone gets $10, $15 gift. What? It's Jesus' birthday. It's not yours. Vacation, not twice a year, maybe once every 5 years, and usually little small picnics or road trips, stuff like that. Hey, nobody owes you what? You don't complain you're in debt if you're living like that. My friend who's a $50,000 a year person always negotiates for things as much as possible. So if you're buying a couch or you're going to go buy a car, they're going to negotiate. Speaking of car, the person with $50,000 a year has the same car, owns it outright. No leasing, no financing. We got to pay interest and bullshit. Rides that car till the wheels fall off, baby. Has a car that's at least 100,000 miles plus. You do your maintenance on it, of course, but that's always cheaper than leasing or buying financing a new car. But buys everything out in cash. If you don't have the cash, you don't buy it. Boom, done. It's not a life and death thing. That's the $50,000 a year person I've noticed. And then, has one kid, doesn't have four. That's another big one. Sorry, I know our kids are blessings, but life doesn't care that you have 10 kids, four kids, one kid. Life wants its money. So, you know, we love our kids, right? But I mean, kids cost money, right? They do, or they don't, and kids don't just fall out of the trees. You have to have sex. Like, it's not a mistake. So, what else? Yeah, my friend who makes 50,000 doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, doesn't vape. Um, what else? No, probably no subscription services, I would imagine, at least when I've seen, and no gambling. Doesn't eat out a lot. So these are all things that, you know. So it's we don't. I think oftentimes we think being rich is the money you make, and it's not. It's how you live, living within or below your means. You're not, if you're the person that's like, well, I gotta go on vacation. No, you don't. There's nothing in the Bible that says you must go to Disney. Now, the Bible might say to rest, meaning sit in your backyard, go to a park, rest, but not, these things cost money and they add up. So again, it's not any one thing, but it's the habits that we have, and I try to do that too with myself. I try to say, need versus want. I mean, I don't know. There's been Christmases, and I'm like, hey, listen, everyone's getting a $10 gift, 100 or under 100 or whatever it is, or I have one pair of sneakers. Like I could go buy 50 pairs of sneakers if I want to, but I don't because I live below my means. But so that person who's making 50G a year is very motivational for me, and that $500,000 a year friend of mine is it's unfortunate because I don't know. It's persons in a bind, and they put themselves in the bind. But I think we all do that to ourselves to a certain extent, and it's not bad luck. It's just bad decisions, and again, I get it. A meteorite comes out of the sky, hits you in the head, you fucked up, you can't work, understood. But in America, I mean, we can get also training for things. I mean, if you want to be trained to be a welder or a plumber or be an accountant, if you're a young person, like you have choices even. And you can say, oh, I don't, I came from the ghetto, and stop. Again, I grew up piss poor, no advantages, nothing. My mommy and daddy didn't pay for my college. My mommy and daddy, didn't pay for my high school. My mom, like I had to go to public school. I had to pay for myself. It took me 10 years to get a 4-year degree. And I'm not the smartest. I'm not the hardest worker. But my point is, we make choices, and once you understand we make choices, then you have power and you can change things, so it's not a fait accompli. But those are the two tales between my two friends, the 50K and the 500K. And if I asked you who the millionaire was, you would think it was the 500K. Not so, and so of course, the 500K person lives in a huge house, a McMansion, and the 50K person lives in a studio, stuff like that, where the 50K person could live in a nicer place, but not to say they're living in the craps. But anyways, living within our means, and that's a healthy thing for us to do. So anyways, check back in. A lot of great content coming up. All right, everybody, I'm signing us out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bye.